Hi everyone, welcome to Becky's Crafts and Goodies. Today we're going to make a few DIY wreaths. Now most of the stuff that I'm using came from Poundland, there's Bargain Buys, there's B&M, and Bargain Buys is actually Poundstretchers, so if you've got a Poundstretcher near you, keep an eye out as well. Now in this video we're going to decorate two of these white wreaths. They're kind of like a wicker kind of feel, and they're going to be quite traditional colours with reds. There's some gold in there as well, so this is the more traditional. I'm going to do another video using the grey wreaths, so keep an eye out for that because that will be coming on very shortly as well. And also both wreaths will feature a little robin, so if robins are significant in your family, I know they are in lots of families at Christmas time, then keep an eye out because this might be something of interest to you. Now the two wreaths are similar, but one's a little bit easier than the other one. We're going to start off with the easiest. Now I've got my hot glue gun heated up ready, so that's all ready to go, and I'll show you the pick that I'm going to use. And these came from it's Poundstretcher, so they came from Bargain Buys, and they're a robin pick, and they come already made. As you can see, they come already assembled with all the different elements and the bits and pieces on it, and that's what we're going to use in this instance. I'm also going to use some ribbon. Now I've tried to remember where I bought this from. I've had it for a year or two. It may have come from the range, but have a look online as you might be able to find some. Now I like this one because it's got Merry Christmas written over it, but you can use any type of ribbon. It doesn't have to have print on it, it can just have a nice pattern or anything like that. I just want to also show you how I made this little bow, and all you need to do is to get some ribbon. The wired ribbon works best, so it's the wire, meaning it's on the outside, and it makes the bow stand up a little bit better. So you start by folding it like that, you go over once, you go over again, and then you go over one last time, and then just cut it at the end there. Now for this next bit I'm going to use some pipe cleaners. You can keep your eye out during the year for pipe cleaners and things like Easter and stuff like that. They generally have them, but you can find them online if you want to find them online. Then you just scrunch the bow in the middle, and you can use ribbon for this if you want to, or you can use wire, maybe florist wire or something like that, and just twist it round, and the wire helps it to be able to tie onto the wreath, so it's really good. And then all you do, because you've kind of gone round a couple of times, you just pull out the bow and you can sort of fluff it up, and it just makes it so it's a little bit more, it's a little bit fuller really, and then you can just spend time kind of fluffing it and making it how you want it to be. So they're really simple to do, so you can do those as well and put those on if you want to. We might use those, we might not, I'm not sure. Okay, so next we're going to stick the a piece over the side. Now I thought it would look really quite cute at a bit of an angle. I think that would look really lovely. So we're going to get it into position, and we're going to use the good old trusty glue gun. So that's already here. And I'm just going to put some of this on, and then very carefully stick that round the back. Just hold that on there, and then we'll do exactly the same. Just make sure it's still in position, and stick that with an extra glue stick. You do use lots of glue sticks when you're doing things like this, so make sure you've got a good stash, because there's nothing worse than doing a project and then running out of glue sticks. It's really annoying. Okay, so that's at an angle there, and as you see it's dead simple. This is a really easy one. And then we're going to put on our Christmassy robin pick. Now you can put them in various different places. You could put them at the top, you could put them at the bottom. If you put them at the bottom, you could maybe put a bow at the top. So it's just a case of having a play about with it and seeing, you know, where you want it to go. Now with the pick, all I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off the wire bit. Now you could, if you wanted to, kind of poke it through and wrap it round, but I don't know how much of this I'm going to get through because it is kind of quite tightly sort of woven together. So right, so I've just gone through the back, and I'm going to put a good splodge of glue on the top just to hold it in place. And sometimes things don't necessarily want to bend, so you just have to tell them where you want it to go. Put your glue on there and then just hold it on. Be dead careful when you're using a glue gun. As many of you may know, I've had quite a few mishaps with glue guns over the years. Just hold that in place down there. Just give it a chance to set. And once it's set, you can kind of move it about a little bit. Now, I quite like these bows. I think they'd look quite nice on the bottom. So you could put one at the bottom there, which would look pretty cool. So you've got your wire, and all you've got to do is just wrap it round. And it's as simple as that. I told you it was really easy, didn't I? And it is. I'm just being careful because I've still got my my pick at the top that hasn't stuck on. And then if you've got any excess of the wire, you just snip it off. And then you just hide those bits. And you could also, if you wanted to, pop some glue, which I always think is a good idea. Pop some glue in just to hold it in place because it might slip down. Just put some on there. I mean, these pipe cleaners are like a beige colour, so but you could get some white ones, but I'm just using what I've got. This is kind of about making something out of things that are quite cheap and making them look quite nice. So you don't want to be spending loads of money on supplies because that kind of defeats the object really, doesn't it? So this would have cost, you've got £1 for the ring, £1 for the pick, so that's £2, and then just a few pence for a bit of the ribbon. So it would have been no more than £2.50 for this. And all I'm going to do with the back part is just kind of bend that in and fold that round. And there we go, that's the wreath all done, and that's dead simple and it's really cheap. So they'd also make great presents, and if you're doing like a craft fair or something like that, all these bits, as I say, probably about £2.50, you could easily sell that for £5.99 easily. So, you know, probably even more. Okay, so there's that one. So now we're going to move on to the next one. Right, now we're going to have a go at the next one. And again, as I said, it's very similar, but we're just kind of building it up a different way and doing it slightly different. So for this one, I've bought some of these pearl lights, and these came from Poundland as well. They've got loads of different ones to choose from, and they're just the battery operated. So you've got to put a couple of AA batteries in them to make them work. Like that. So that's what they look like there. They're quite bright. And we'll put those on first so we can kind of like sort our decor out and build up around them. So you need to work out where you want this part to be, because you want to obviously hide that part. It could go at the bottom or it could go at the top. I think I'm going to put mine at the top, and when you stick it on you need to make sure you can still get to the bit that slides, so don't stick that bit down. That bit needs to be sort of showing, and it's just a case of literally wrapping them round. And I'll probably stick a dab of glue very carefully just to hold them in place. So just go round the wreath like this. It is actually really nice to be doing Christmas stuff. I know lots of you have been dying to see the Christmas makes all starting to come together, but yeah, it is pretty cool. So one of my favourite times of the year, if not the favourite time, I would imagine. So just wrap that round, and as you can see, these fit quite nicely. They're about the right size. So you work your way back up to the top, and then I'm going to glue that bit on there when we're done. So that's the main base done now. I'm going to switch that off for now so you can see what I'm doing. We'll stick that back on in a minute. So put the lights on first. As with the Christmas tree, I always put my lights on first and then decorate after that. And we're going to make a pick for this one, and we're going to use some bits from Poundland. So we've got these little berry decorations. You get 5 in a pack there. You use some of the Christmas pine cones. These are the ones with the little snowy tips on, but you can get plain ones as well. We're going to use some of these velvet bows. Now these are really easy to make if you want to make some of those, but they're dead cheap, so you can just pick them up. And I also picked up some of this over here. It's like fake wreath stuff here, so I picked up some of that, so we'll use that to help make the pick. So to start with, we need one of these little berry stems, and you just undo that on the back, and you need to keep the stem on it. Just lost a berry there. You need to keep the stem because that helps form part of the actual pick itself. And then we're going to cut some of this off to use just to fill it out as decoration. So you get that at the bottom here, and we're just going to twist it one way and twist it the other way like that, and it just fills out the pick. All the berries are escaping on this one. And then you could glue that down. You could put some glue just to hold that in place, which I might do actually. Just to stick that, because that little bit there is wiggling about a little bit. I'll reload my glue gun up again, ready. And then we're also going to pop on one of these pine cones, and you can obviously pick pine cones up around this time of the year, so you could get some, and you could also just paint the tips in a white colour. You could also put some glitter on as well, glitter the tips. That would look really quite cute. But if you haven't got anywhere to get pine cones from, then you could just go and buy them, because I know not everybody can get them where they live. So just get your glue gun, splodge some on, and then we're going to stick that pine cone on as well. And while that's just sticking there, we're going to grab one of these bows, and these are the velvet bows. And all I did, because it's got this little wire around it, I'm hoping this is dry and it's not going to fall off. I just literally just wrapped that round. I'm going to put some glue on to start with. Like that. Hold that on for a minute, and then I'll wrap that around the edge in a second. And that's the pick. So you can buy them like that. I know that one's got a robin on, but we're going to use a robin in this video as well. Or you can make them. So you know, you can make lots of them out of that. So it just depends the look you're going for, and if you wanted to make them yourself. So I'll just finish twisting that around the back, and that's that one done. And that just took like a few seconds really, didn't it? A minute or two, hardly any time at all. So that's that complete. So we're going to be sticking that on there, and we're also going to put this robin on. Now I bought these last year from it's Bargain Buys, but it's Poundstretchers. So I bought these last year, and I thought that would look super cute, literally just dangling from the middle. Just thought that would look really lovely. And I've also made another bow as well, and I made this bow out of this sparkly ribbon. And I haven't done a double bow, I just went round enough to give me two sides like that, and all I did was wrap some of this like twine, like natural coloured twine around the middle, and tied it at the end, and just left some so I could tie it on. So that's how you make those. It is really, really easy. Right, so we're going to start by putting our little friend the robin on, and for that I'm going to use some extra ribbon, and all I'm going to do is to hook a bit of ribbon around the top. I know I've got some string on here, but I want to keep the string to use to dangle it, so I'm going to keep that there. And then I'm going to wrap this around the top, so it won't be you won't necessarily be able to see this ribbon. That's the plan anyway, but you'll be able to see the gold bit that's on the robin already. So we're going to wrap this round, and it'll be fine because we're going to put something over the top to hide it anyway, so it won't matter if it's if it's tied around the front. In fact, it'd be better off being tied around the front because you won't see it at the back then. So just snip those bits off, and then we're going to stick this pick in exactly the same way to the top. So as you can see, they are quite similar, but I'm just going to cut off the wire, and then we're going to glue this at the top. So just kind of make sure you're as central as you can be. Try not to get the wires if you can help it. I'm just going to stick that on. Just hold that there for a minute. So that's the top. Just hold that in place. And then I'm going to tie this bow on the bottom. That's still drying actually, so we'll just carefully try not to knock that. Let's tie this on. It always makes it so much harder when you've got a tripod because you just really can't stand where you need to do it. Just make sure all these bits are tucked around the back so you can't see them. That probably needs a little bit more glue on the top. You see, this is why I'm putting the battery pack at the top, because it will be hidden with the wreath, not with the wreath, with the pick. So just put some on there and just hold it on tight. And then find your battery pack. We're going to do the same thing and splodge it on the back. My glue has run out already. I need a new glue gun really. These are just the cheap ones from the range, but they work. So I still managed to burn my finger whichever one I buy, so I don't know what difference it'd make really. Obviously it is going to stick out a little bit more on the top. If you put it on the top, it's going to like lean forward a little bit. If you put it on the bottom, it'll kind of lean up a little bit, but you don't really notice all that much, so it's not too bad. So we're just going to let this dry, and then I'll show you them both finished. And here we go. So they're both finished now. I like both of them. They are quite similar, but with the lights on it, it gives it that different feel. And I love the little robin touch in the middle there. So I'm just going to put the lights on this one. I'd say the light one probably cost obviously £1 more for the lights, but you've got the price of the robin as well. So it might be about £1, £1.50 more than the other one. But I think it looks really cute how it kind of dangles down, and that will look really nice in the dark, won't it? So if you've got a room with some low light, that would look really quite sweet as well. So they're the two white wreaths. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. I'm just about to film the other one now using the grey wreaths, so keep your eye out for that, because that will be coming on the channel very soon as well. So that's it from me. I hope you're all okay, and I will see you all again very soon. You take care. Bye for now.